coming out this middle of the week. Yeah, it's happened to Louis.
Oh. I think we're both in frame. Yay!
Yay!
Howdy, everybody. Good morning, Theria. I'm Jason.
I'm Brianna.
Today, we're going to be doing a bit of a twofer because, well, we haven't done one of these in a while. Theriathon kind of fell in an area where... I'll be honest, we just didn't feel like it.
We got super sick after Theriathon. Honestly, we were sick for Theriathon, and we just pretended
I'm sick
that we
now.
weren't. He's sick now.
A bout of bronchitis just descended upon the house. Elle brought that home, and she was out for 2 weeks.
Yes.
So, yeah. No, so, that's why we didn't do one. We're going to tackle a light subject, or at least something that's supposed to be light. I don't
think we're going to upset anybody.
No. But so we're going to talk about Mortal Kombat, the new movie that just came out, but we're not going to do spoilers for it. So don't tune away. Yeah.
Unless it's by accident, and in which case it'll be my fault, and I'm very sorry.
Absolutely it will. So, we're gonna talk about that stuff just because I'm shocked at the reception it's got.
Me too. I don't understand.
You got a thing in your hair.
Thank you.
Yeah. There you go. It looks like straw. I don't know when you had straw, but
I just like to go into the barn out back. And
yeah, the barn in the middle of Sacramento.
Yeah.
We're also going to be talking about cancel culture a bit today because I want to talk about that.
We will upset people.
Yes.
Almost definitely. There's no way to talk about it where you don't upset people.
It's weird because I think I have a very centrist opinion about cancel culture.
Which will upset fucking everyone.
I know! That's the
best part of being centrist is everyone's pissed. No one likes you.
I would not call myself
They just make fun of you on Reddit.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't call yourself that. That's what makes it bad.
For those of you noticing, it's
been 2 weeks. It's got some growth. It's got some growth there.
I hate it.
You feel scritchy.
I'm just never gonna shave again. Yeah, I'm going for wise old wizard again. That's it.
Do that. You feel like it's not a sponge. It's something.
A sponge?
No, like.
I feel porous?
No, like, it's not a sponge. It's the other thing you use on dishes.
A scouring pad?
Yeah!
Yay! Wow.
Anyway, touch your faces, everyone. See if it feels like a scouring pad.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat!
I fucking love that movie.
Me
Top
too.
to bottom. Absolutely. I posted... Okay, so we watched it opening night at home, because that's how movies are watched now. But watched it opening night. I adore it, top to bottom. I think it was perfect. There's not a single thing I would go back and change.
I would change one thing. We talked about this in the car. I did not like the main character's family. I was fine with the main character, but even at the end of the movie, and this isn't a spoiler at all, we were still wondering how they were related to the younger girl. And finally, she called out Dad in a clear enough way that we realized that he was her father. They did not look like they were that age difference. Like, he must have had her when he was 14, and they have a very cool relationship where he never acts like a father towards her at all.
They went for, like, cool older daughter thing. Like, she was, like, and maybe it's a stepdaughter thing? I don't know.
I don't know. And that's part of the problem I have with it is...
Yeah.
They didn't give me enough information on the family for me to actually care, but then, obviously, because they gave him a family, that's the crux of the movie later. I'd rather there just wasn't a family. I don't mind that the main character wasn't in Mortal Kombat games that much.
I think... Okay, I'm going to get into that in just 1 second. Zach, hey!
Hi, Zach!
Yes! Thank you,
Mortal
Zach.
Kombat is amazing.
It's
really fucking good.
Okay, I have like 50 thoughts I want to get out.
Yes, me too.
One, it's a 2-hour movie, and there's a roster of 65. It's tough.
Really? Oh, you mean in the games? I was like, how?
Yeah.
There was no way there were that many people. Yeah.
And I'm excluding people like Bo Rai Cho and fucking, like, get rid of the... Like, I'm talking about, like, just characters that have been, like, say, 1 through 3, 9 through 11. Like, ditch those shitty kart racer Mortal Kombats in the middle.
Right.
Ditch all that. But, like, there are some characters that I was surprised to see. Like, there was a couple that, like...
I was, like, okay, I didn't watch any of the commercials.
And I don't want to, like, the surprises are part of the movie, so I don't want to, like...
Right, I won't do any of the later ones, but can I do some of the beginning ones?
Sure.
My favorite character.
Sure.
I'll talk about him anyway. Kung Lao. I didn't know Kung Lao was going to be in it. Was he in the ads? Because, again, I didn't watch the ads.
It was mostly Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
That's
in the
fair.
Ads, mostly. Like, that, and that's fair.
And maybe that gave people a false expectation, because there wasn't a ton of those two characters. When they were there, they were fucking baller, though. So I think it was perfect.
I honestly thought it was just enough of them. Like, okay, here's my thought. There was two things that I saw prevalent. People did not like that they made up a character to be the star, the central protagonist.
Which I kind of get, especially if you have, like, favorite characters, but I don't think it takes away from the movie.
Right, but, like, that means if you pick someone else, let's say it was Sonya, let's say it was Jax, who are featured prominently, one, you kind of know the arc of those characters. Like, okay, the movie opens with Hanzo.
Yes.
Everyone knows that because they gave the first 9 minutes away on
gorgeous.
free. Yeah, dude.
It's so fucking pretty.
I know what's going to happen. There's not a fucking person.
Wait, what happens to Hanzo?
There's not a person.
Good things?
Like, okay, it starts in, like, the fucking 1600s, and it's like, yeah, no. You have a beautiful family. I know what's gonna... Like, this won't be Mortal Kombat unless... So it's like watching the prequel for, like, the Han Solo movie. It's like, well, golly, this is quite a pickle. I hope Han Solo and this Chewbacca character get out of it. Like, I know what's gonna happen. So when it's a made-up new character, it's like, well, I don't know what your arc is. Fucking, what's happening? Like, I don't know what your powers are gonna be. Like,
yeah, and he'll probably be in the next Mortal Kombat game. Let's be real.
Yeah,
because they add fucking
Rambo.
RoboCop. Yeah,
Rambo and RoboCop and the fucking, like, yes.
And that's one of the things that bugs me a little bit is a lot of the criticism I've been seeing seems to come from people who remember the '90s movie and remember it fondly as a good movie, which is not correct. I'm sorry, that it's not a good movie. It's a fun, campy movie, but it's not good.
I saw someone say, "Oh, thank God, Annihilation is no longer the worst movie." You are fucking
stupid.
wrong.
That's
You're
really
wrong.
dumb. I'm sorry, that's wrong. And that seems to be combined with a huge group of people who haven't played Mortal Kombat in the last decade. So, like, they remember Mortal Kombat from the 90s completely.
Right.
They don't know how fucking weird it's gotten with time travel and revenants and shit.
Yeah.
So they're mad about things that happened in the movie that are perfectly normal in the world of Mortal Kombat. Like...
I, as someone who plays every game when it comes out, I don't think I ever stopped. There were the doldrums. There were, fucking, oh my God.
Did you play the really shitty RPG with, was it Scorpion?
Sub-Zero?
Sub-Zero.
I played Mythologies, baby.
Oh, good.
I played it on the 64, where it was even worse. I played Jax's shitty...
I've earned this movie.
Yeah, I played Jax's shitty PS1 game, Special Forces. I played...
Oh, what's the one game we have to play together?
Oh, the Kung Lao Liu Kang movie. The one that no one talks about. It was really good. It was like Shaolin Masters, Shaolin something. But it was a side-scrolling beat-em-up featuring those two, and it was gold.
I love it.
And we never got a sequel, and no one ever talks about it.
I never heard of it until you brought it up.
I don't know if it was good enough to, like, get, like... It just wasn't Mortal Kombat. So, like, no matter how good it was, it's like, that's great.
And you open with mythology as far as Mortal Kombat spin-offs go. No one's going to trust a Mortal Kombat spin-off again.
I think the Jax one ruined it. At least the mythologies had kind of an aura about it. It was terrible, but, like, it kind of had, like, a feeling. The Jax one is garbage. And it's all kind of garbage.
I didn't even know about the Jax one, I'll be honest. You said it just now. And I was like, I guess there's a Jax one.
I played Alliance. I played fucking, like... I played Mortal Kombat chess. I played fucking Mortal Kombat kart racing.
I wanted to play the chess one.
I
asked for it. I asked for it when it came out.
It's like a side... There was...
Because, like, they like, pull into a, like, alternate reality and then kill each other as the pawns, right?
I think... It's been years. Like,
That was like, take chess but make it badass.
Shaolin monks. It was Shaolin monks. Thank you. For all their faults, I've always been, like, I still play. Like, I still play the Mortal... Because it's Mortal Kombat. Like...
It's fun.
I think it just came at a perfect time in my life.
The last game was really fucking good.
I think it's perfect. Like, they take it's become Fast and Furious, where
Yes.
they take their storyline dead serious. It is po-faced, dead serious. It's like, yes, there are alternate timelines and Revenants, and RoboCop is here.
And the Revenant's gonna fight his not Revenant version, and it's totally makes sense to us, so fuck you.
Yeah, the Terminator and Rambo are
They
around.
do it way better than Tekken does. Like, I love Tekken, but Tekken tries to do the same thing where it has silly characters and a stone-faced story, but they keep them as two completely separate, like, things. They do not let the silly characters touch the main storyline. So only 3 characters are involved with that.
Cobalt, oh my god, Jason, I love playing chess. Are you a great opponent? I know. I know how to play chess.
The horsey makes a little L.
I know how to play chess. I am a mediocre chess player at best. My chess skills are right on par with my pool playing skills, where it's like, I know the mechanics, and, like...
Here's my advice to anyone who wants their kids to like chess, because my parents wanted me to like chess. When they're children, play with them like they're children, and they might like chess.
Yeah.
That's how, like, I played chess against my father, like, 4 times when I was a baby, and he beat me within, like, 3 moves because I was a fucking baby.
That's dumb.
And so I never played chess again because I thought I was stupid.
And I think... Okay, when parents do that kind of stuff, it doesn't necessarily mean they're, like, bad.
No.
I think they think they're in a kung fu movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, one day I'll fold you over so many times that you'll just... And it's like, no, kids get bored.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I didn't show up to lose.
It's already a boring game.
Yeah.
Let them play. Like, if you want to beat them, fine. But, like, give them a few rounds so they can get a hang of the game first.
Yeah.
Like, I barely knew the horsey as an L. Well, I didn't know that yet.
We've talked about Mortal Kombat far too much to not mention Kano.
Best character. I love Kung Lao. He's my favorite character canonically.
Yeah.
Chrono is the best actor by far. Or the best character in the movie.
Krona?
Did I say Krona?
Yeah.
Chrono.
Kano. Kano, sweetie.
I'm so bad at names.
Kano,
hey, at least
sweetie.
it wasn't... Earlier, I said I felt bad because I felt racist because I always mess up the
That's
Asian
fair.
names.
This is just a white
That's
guy.
an
It's fine.
Australian dude, so whatever.
Yeah.
Someone was mad he was Australian.
If
Jason
you-
saw a comment where someone was mad that he was Australian. Nothing tells me you haven't played the games in 10 years.
More than that, Jesus Christ. Like, I don't think he was Australian in 1. Like, because they just had a bunch of white guys
And they
jumping
didn't
around.
say
And like,
anything.
yeah, like, that, well, there'd be voiceovers in the background or something like that, but, like, that very vaguely. Like, it...
He's been Australian in every game I've ever played that I can remember him in.
Yeah, no, I adore this movie. Seriously. Shush.
Oh, we got mail.
Absolutely adore this movie. You should watch it. And you might disagree. You might watch it and think it's fine. You might watch it and think it's mediocre.
Give it a chance and don't believe all the reviews you're seeing. Because, like, first of all, Jason and I both expressed that we're both very sad that there's a chance that there won't be a sequel because of all these negative reviews. And they set up a sequel really well.
Yeah. Honestly, I tuned in to watch goofy, like, dudes in goofy outfits beat each other up. Like, and they take their story very seriously. That's what I tuned in for. I don't think there's a way to do Mortal Kombat where it becomes serious. Like, I don't, and I think that was some people's problems. Like, if you did watch it, what do you think? Without giving spoilers,
I feel like if they tried to make it serious, it would be boring and not what I wanted. Because, like, in case you didn't see the ads, like I didn't see, I very rarely watch ads for movies that I'm excited to see. The fatalities are fucking amazing. They're gory as shit. It's an R-rated movie. It's amazing. Please watch it.
Because they got the guy from Saw to fucking, like, get on board. It's like, yes, like, perfect. Like, it's gorgeous. So,
all right.
All right, let's talk about the other thing.
Okay. So if any of you want to leave, we're probably done talking about the fun stuff.
Here's the thing. Give me a second before, ride with me for a couple of minutes on this. So, okay. Boy, this is a huge topic, obviously, the cancel culture thing. This is a huge topic to talk about and realize that there's so many layers of nuance. And we both want to just word vomit at this
Yes.
topic.
Before we get started,
Yeah.
I think a great place to start for both of us is defining what we think cancel culture means, because we might come at this from two completely different angles.
Yeah.
Because it's such a wide topic.
I don't think cancel culture exists, technically.
Mm.
Like, I think there are very sensitive people on both the right and the left. I think there are some people on the left that the most minor infraction should result in someone losing their job, their career, their livelihood, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that any change in the world to some people on the right results in, it's like, well, this is cancel culture. It's like, stop. Because this pendulum swings both ways. I saw someone make a great point that, if you remember back in like 2003, we were in the middle of a war, a very sensitive war after 9/11. The Dixie Chicks criticized the president and stuff. How hard were they shut down? They lost everything. Is that cancel culture? Did that fucking... Like, they said something you didn't like,
Part
you
of the
destroyed
problem
them.
is politically, cancel culture is so associated with the left
Right.
that the right doesn't see when they are doing it as well. I think most leftists can go, that's cancel culture, I'd like it to stop, to their own side.
Yeah.
But people on the right don't associate cancel culture with their own values, so when the right does it, they don't see it as a cancel culture, which I think is part of the problem.
And I think the left encompasses so much. Like...
Yeah.
I'm left, but I'm not so left that, like...
And that's a problem, too.
Right.
Yeah.
It's such a... Like, there's so many varying
because the
shades
left
of
is
left.
so willing to make compromises that the left has compromised themselves into being four different political parties.
Right.
The right doesn't make as many compromises, so they're like, I'd say two parties at this point in my brain. Anyway.
What do you think cancel culture is?
For me, cancel culture as a modern term, not the 2003 type, but modern,
Right.
is when a controversy of any type, and that's part of the problem with cancel culture, is amplified to such a degree that the source isn't viewed as much as the dogpiling on the source.
Right.
For good or for bad. Like, and the problem with cancel culture for me is that we have this one word to describe such a wide breadth of topics, where it can be anything from the guy who created Rurouni Kenshin having child porn, like actual child porn,
Right.
or someone said the N-word, like, in 2004, or
Yeah, and it's...
someone, like, drew fan art that you didn't like. All of that can result in what I described cancel culture to be, which is something being amplified so much that someone's being attacked and the original source doesn't matter anymore.
And that's kind of why I feel like... Okay. This has kind of always existed. Going back to, like, the 2003 example. If someone says something that goes against the grain or rubs someone the wrong way, the problem is, now that the more and more we're online, which is just how we live life, especially in the middle of a quarantine, the more we're exposed to a nuanced version of every... Like, okay, Me Too.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of this started as a byproduct of the entire Me Too movement. I think a lot of good was done. Like, you get your Weinsteins out of here, your Cosbys, your fucking, all these people who are fucking violent sex offenders and fucking, like, abused power for years and years. And then you get your mid-tier people who are like, you said a thing.
But even if you remember with the Weinstein stuff, when Me Too, Weinstein specifically was trending, it was, I have a picture of this celebrity standing near Weinstein.
Yeah, and that's the
problem. And for a while, they were being canceled as well, and people kind of looked around, and they were like, he ruled Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like, everyone had to take pictures with him. It was fucking required to work there.
And I think that people get really up in arms, where, like, okay, I'm gonna dance around for a second, but stay with me.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we need some police reform. There's a lot of shit going on. I don't think we should abolish all police officers and get rid of any fucking... I don't think all police officers are scumbags. Just like, you can't say that about any profession. It's like, well, all nurses are pricks. It's like, whoa, okay.
I'm not against abolishing the police. I think there are multiple ways we could go about changing what's going on. So the people who say abolish the police, I don't think they're that far off, because those people would still end up probably getting a job in the same sector. It would just be called something different.
I mean, okay, you could change the name of it, but, like, you're still going to need someone who, like, enforces, you know what I mean? Like,
I think with the abolish the police stuff, what a lot of people are hoping for is actually the same thing. They're just kind of saying it differently.
right.
My understanding of abolish the police is like, okay, get rid of the police program. Now, have a separate program for domestic violence, have a separate program for drugs, have a separate program for this and that. Call them all different things. Have specialists, have 4-year training. Like...
That's a lot.
It's a lot, but it's kind of, anyway, that's not really about cancel culture so much.
No. I put that up there with, like, well, YouTube should just watch every video. It's like, how? Like, it's if you create a bunch of special, like, we don't have funding for, like, the main one right now. It's like, how are we going to fund, whatever. That's the centrist thing in me. It's like,
funding.
It's yeah, no, they do. They're buying tanks.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, no, it's a misappropriation. But, like, okay, I think... Going back to the cancel culture thing,
Mm-hmm.
I think...
We can have the abolish the police one next time.
It's my point being, I think after the Me Too thing, like, I think we kept filtering down to the point where it's like, okay, well, Aziz Ansari, it's like, wow, we got him? Was that fucking Kevin Hart? It's like, because he said something 10 years ago on Twitter. It's like, the thing, okay, I said something 10 years ago on Twitter needs to go. Like...
People grow, people
Stop.
change, and I think the new middle ground that I think a lot of people who participate in cancel culture have come up with is like, well, you need to apologize for it. You need to acknowledge it and apologize for it and prove that you've changed. I'm not even sure if I agree with that. There are some things that I do think you should acknowledge and apologize for, the N-word being one of them. I do think that you should acknowledge that you used to think... I think that's a good learning experience for anyone.
Sure.
But there's some times where it's like, no, that was just a fucking shitty joke from 2004, which is when we made shitty jokes. That's when the fucking dead baby jokes were a huge thing, because people had a shitty taste in humor.
Right.
And comedy ages the worst, and, you know, it is what it is. But, like, I'm not sure if you need to dig up all your dead baby tweets and acknowledge them and apologize for them to prove that you don't make dead baby jokes anymore. I'm pretty sure you just don't, you know?
Right. And it's, like, okay, two things. Wolf Didi. Well, they're not buying tanks per se. They're getting hand-me-downs from the... Money is exchanging hands.
Yeah.
To get those
they're
tanks.
They're not getting hand-me-downs.
But
yes.
They're not buying new tanks off the... Yeah, Rogue Panda Leader. What the hell did I walk into? Good question.
Well, if you had been here 20 minutes ago, Mortal Kombat.
Well,
now.
we were talking about... Yeah, we're talking about, like, cancel culture as a topic. And I think, like, okay... my thing usually is to not attack, but, like, criticize the left, because it's like, well, you got my pronoun wrong. You should lose your life. It's like, okay, give someone a chance to say, oops, I'm sorry. This is what you know what I mean? Like, there's...
And I think it ties weirdly into... Sorry, you were going to say something else.
Well, I think intent and second chances don't exist for some people online. Like, DNR as a show has been around for almost 10 years. Don't go looking into my social media history.
Yeah,
I guarantee
we had to have
you.
a fucking, like, preemptive thing in the first episode to explain language we used.
Yeah, I'll save you the trouble. I guarantee you something existed 10 years ago because, like, okay, look at the movies that existed 10 years ago. Like, 2011? 2011, let's see what movies are and language that was used that we just don't use anymore.
Yeah, and people learned, and Luna's breaking the fucking door down.
Yeah.
People learn and grow. You might want to just let her in.
I'm just going to go ahead and let this dog in. Hi, girl. Luna joins us now.
She's excited to be a part of things.
I guess she heard that we were talking about cancel culture.
I have a lot of opinions.
Yes.
Don't tread on me. Bye. She is. Did she get chocolate? Like, she's...
No, she didn't get... There's no chocolate to have.
No.
So,
okay.
Let me scooch back in.
I had something important I wanted to say. And
Was
now
it
I
about
cannot
Luna?
remember.
Because
It
if it's
wasn't about
not, then
Luna.
it's probably not gonna...
Shoot, cancel culture. Oh, I think it branches weirdly off of something we've discussed before on GMT, which is death of the author. I think cancel culture kind of ties into that because bringing up two people that I think were rightfully canceled, and this is where people might get mad at me, but I think I've made my opinions known on this topic. The Rurouni Kenshin guy, yeah, he got off on, like, little children porn, but also because of a technicality in Japan's, he still makes money off of Rurouni Kenshin, like a lot of it. Huh. He had hundreds of videos of child porn. Anyway, him, J.K. Rowling, I don't feel like... That one's more tough, because, like, do I feel like she should have the internet taken away from her? No. Do I feel like she should be winning awards for just writing TERF talking points nicely? No. I think she's ill-informed and using her power for ill.
I think, this is just me, Jamie in the comments, heck, rewatch The Office. Some of those jokes did not age well.
Yeah, dude, Scrubs hurts sometimes because they have a lot of, like, sexist, racist jokes.
Buffy. There's a couple of things in Buffy that it's like, ooh, Cordelia, we don't say that word anymore.
No, we do not.
I think properties should be taken away from people like abused children. Like,
yes!
Like, okay, there's a point where George Lucas was just, that was more creative decisions. He didn't come out and say, it's like, well, trans people don't exist. It's like, whoa! Like, I think we accept it more from someone like Lovecraft because it was a different time. Even in his time, he was fucked up.
Yeah.
But, like... 80
also,
years have gone by.
If you buy something of Lovecraft's now, you're giving money to Lovecraft's estate, which is still probably morally ambiguous if you really get down to the nuts and bolts of it. Yeah. But you're not keeping Lovecraft rich. And I think that J.K. Rowling and Ender's Game. What's his fucking name?
Yeah, I know you're
Someone in the chat's going to tell me. The Ender's Game guy, they're alive. They're making money off these properties if you buy them. Like, the Harry Potter thing for me is really tough because it was such a huge part of my childhood, but now I can't buy anything from that property anymore, and I feel bad about the stuff that I do own that I know is official. Orson Scott Card. Thank you. Jaden Maru. Thank you so much, Orson Scott Card. I know that money went to someone who now has a platform because of me. Yeah. And also there's a thing where it's like, even talking about Harry Potter is weird now because if I talk about it in a positive light, and I do love that series, someone might hear me and go buy that series direct from the store and pay J.K. Rowling. Like...
It's tough, man. Like, I think we need to personally assess each thing as it comes up. Like, okay, if you approach Harry Potter and can't see anything beyond what she's saying currently, because that's the new Harry Potter news, right?
God,
like,
I really miss when it was just that they pissed in corners.
I miss
the circle jerks.
That should have been a red flag, right? Where it's like, what? Like, what are you saying? Stop that. But, like, I think we need to stop judging each other based on what we can get over, right? I can't look at Harry Potter. I wasn't a Harry Potter person anyway. Yeah. But, like, I can't look at it and see anything but her because she's so vocal.
She's so fucking loud.
And it's like, I can't, you know?
But then it's like, if I see a cosplayer at Dragon Con who's doing a really great Harry Potter cosplay. Right. It's like, okay, you're still passionate about the same thing I was and am passionate about. Right. Did you buy any of those things official from J.K. Rowling? And also, is it any of my business that you did that? And, like, there's so many levels, and I think with cancel culture, everyone the pill that is so hard to swallow and that no one wants to swallow is that it's a personal decision. Yeah. There's no right answer to cancel culture. There's nowhere we can draw the line and say these people should be canceled and these people shouldn't.
I'll give you a good one. I loved seeing Kevin Spacey in movies. I loved it. Like,
buddy.
Do you know how many fucking movies now? 7, Usual Suspects, fucking, like, there's the Baby Driver's completely ruined.
Baby Driver was the most recent one too. Yeah. So that one hurt extra. And it's like a really good movie.
There's so many, like, Jesus Christ, like Glengarry Glen Ross and fucking, like, there's so many movies he's in that it's like, oh, oh. And, like, the thing he was accused of was hitting on an underage kid, not doing anything, but,
just
like...
being weird.
Just being... But, like, the intent was there. So, again, it's like, okay, he didn't technically do anything, and this was 30 years ago, and, like, it's like...
And, honestly, and this is branching into a whole nother topic, and we could fucking tie James Charles into this... It comes from a place of, like, when I was reading that person's recount of things, it was weird to me how he mentioned that he found out Kevin Spacey was gay before any of this happened. Like, he went into his room and saw a picture of him with a male person and realized he was gay. And to me, that was kind of coded as, like, the 1950s, like, watch out for the gay man stuff. So, and I'm not trying to victim blame, it's just that happened with James Charles as well, where... There was a scare that he was a predator. Then he had receipts to prove he wasn't. But now he is again. And cancel culture did nothing to influence any of that. But he got canceled more than anyone's ever gotten canceled on YouTube. Undeniably.
Yeah.
More than Pro Jared. Like, he got canceled so fucking hard.
Fuck Pro Jared.
That happened around the same time, too. It was weird.
I know. It's just... that stuff comes in waves, though, I feel.
He got, like, super mega canceled.
Right.
It did not affect him at all. He came back, he proved it all wrong, basically, with, like, a very good video. Like, I watched it, too. It was a perfectly good video, and people pointed out that a lot of the allegations stem from a place of kind of homophobia and, like, all gay people are pedophiles.
Right.
And then, now, he's being canceled again because a bunch of fucking children are coming out and being like, yeah, he was in my Snapchat asking me for nudes constantly. Yeah. And then he's like, I thought they were 18, but they all look like children.
Stop.
So...
Stop. Like...
Anyway, point being...
To kind of surmise... Oh, that's a good one, Hogness. I like a lot of Mel Gibson movies. No. Do I like the person? Not really. And Mel Gibson's a little different because, like, you have him recorded saying the most horrendous stuff. He has some opinions on black people. Oh, my.
Roseanne.
And the Jews.
Roseanne.
Fuck
I love
Roseanne.
That show.
How dare you? Like, we all knew Roseanne was not well. Like...
Oh, and that's another... There's so many parts of cancel culture that, like, Roseanne blames something... She is unwell, but she blames something very silly, which made it worse.
Yeah.
But, like, right now, I complained about this privately at one point. We're not putting her name in the title, so I don't feel like I'm adding to anything. Gabby Hanna. I'm getting recommended thousands of Gabby Hanna tea videos.
No idea.
Yeah, she's a YouTuber. That's all you need to know.
Okay.
She was on Vine, now she's on YouTube.
Okay.
She is not well. She is outspoken about how she is unwell. She has mental health issues. And she's done some things, nothing racist, nothing predatory, nothing ableist or transphobic or homophobic, nothing like that.
Okay.
But there are thousands of tea videos because she's done some not okay things as far as, like, sending her fans after, smaller creators who have criticized her work. That's fucked up. Everyone knows she's mentally ill. Yeah. Everybody knows that this comes from a place of her disorders, which I'm not naming because I don't know them off the top of my head, but, like, she's mentally unwell. And one of the things that makes her worse are these videos. And everyone knows it because this has happened before.
Right.
But they're making the videos anyway. And then another big part of cancel culture for me is how many times I see someone being canceled for something attached to mental health or, like, things like that that everyone says is okay. Like, everyone's like, oh, we need to acknowledge mental health and how that plays into things. But not if I don't like them, then it doesn't matter anymore, and you can't use mental health as an excuse, which I do believe on some level. But, like, making hundreds of videos because one popular creator did something untoward, like, again, nothing predatory, nothing racist, just untoward.
Patsy K. Hero, I think another problem I can see is that some people have trouble separating the art from the person. Oh, yeah? I definitely have that. Like, okay, there are some people you can kind of separate stuff from, and I think time is a big thing. Yep.
If they're dead, whatever.
I can't watch a Bill Cosby stand-up.
Okay, yeah. Even when he's dead, that's going to be awkward.
I can't watch any of those old one-man things from the 80s.
He will die in jail.
Yes, he fucking will.
That's nice.
And it's like, okay, if George Lucas came out, like, he hasn't been tied to Star Wars in years, over a decade now. It's really tough to, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's tough. Like, there are some creators who are just so synonymous with the creation that it's very difficult to kind of pull the... It's spaghetti and sauce, man. You can't...
Once you know...
Yeah.
It changes the work where you can see it. Lovecraft put it in his... He was just gross. And I can't read Lovecraft because every once in a while he'll just come out with something that hits me like a fucking bus.
Yeah, but it's directly in the book.
Yeah. There were people defending that at one point, being like, how can you prove he was racist? It's like, read anything he's ever written.
Here's a passage. The cranial skull of the Negro. It's like, no!
It was perfect covering. That was great. Anyway.
Like, it's right there. Like, it's not... That wasn't a different time. And that was...
More insidiously, J.K. Rowling... She has a passage in one of her books that you don't even blink an eye at first. It's mildly sexist, maybe, but the girls can go into the boys' side of the quarters. But the boys, if they try to go to the girls' side, the stairs turn into a slide and they can't go up it.
That's some bullshit.
It's some bullshit because it immediately, like, they even in the book are kind of, like, quirky about it, and that, like, really ties into her turf beliefs that all men, a.k.a. she believes trans women are men, are predators.
Weird.
And women can't be predators. And
That's
it's like...
bullshit.
When you first read it, it's kind of like a vaguely, like, archaic, like, oh man, that must have been when they first built Hogwarts, and, like, they had those shitty ideals. But now it's like,
magic.
No. That's what J.K. Rowling believes, and if there was a trans girl in Hogwarts, canonically, they probably wouldn't be allowed in the girls' dorms. That's fucked up.
Hold on a second. This isn't like they gotta hire contractors to come in and change that. It's fucking magic.
It's magic. They could have just gotten rid of it. But...
okay, we've talked a lot about the left.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about the right for just a second.
Totally. I'd love to.
Dr. Seuss.
Uh-huh.
Grow up. Like, grow up. Like, this was the Dr. Seuss estate pulling 6 books.
Yeah.
This isn't cancel culture. This ain't the libs coming for you. First of all, you didn't give a fuck about Dr. Seuss the day before you heard that news. You heard about it and you, like, it's a clamp down on any change. It's no, you can't take my Dr. Seuss. I'm going to go out and buy all the... Like, it's like, fine, whatever. This is a self-imposed thing because it's like, ooh, that didn't age so well. And some of these books are like, what, 60?
Right,
60 years old? Somewhere in that, like...
And even in his lifetime, Dr. Seuss made a big change in his political ideals that he referenced in his work.
Yeah.
Often. And, like, something I see on the right a lot is, with the left, they'll argue with each other for years over a topic.
Yeah.
The right will get really angry about something and then let it slide. And the problem with that is a lot of times on the right, they're angry about a headline that isn't even fucking true.
Usually.
And the retraction is never on the right going to get as far as on the left. Because, like, Johnny Pirate.
Johnny Pirate?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Okay. The retraction to the Johnny Depp stuff did not go as far as the initial, but it got pretty far.
Yeah.
I don't think if a situation on the right happened that way, it would get as far. I think that they move on too quickly.
I think at a certain point it was less about Johnny Depp and more about Amber Heard.
Yes.
Because if you don't know, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard were just in a bad relationship, and it's kind of been proven she abused him.
Yeah.
But because it's Hollywood... and he's a guy.
Well, at first she accused him.
Yeah, that's how it worked, though. Yeah. Like, again, that's the worst of the Me Too stuff, where it became believe all women, no matter what. And it's like, that's...
Don't do that.
Don't, because that's how, like, Johnny Depp lost his life for, like, 2 straight years. There's
a game developer whose name I can't remember who actually did kill himself based on allegations that we still... are not 100% sure were true.
Jesus
Christ. He denied them. But, I don't know. That's why I'm not even naming who it is. But, like, he killed himself.
And it's a really murky, like... It's a really murky topic because it's like, okay, I think if someone's in a relationship and they're living together or something like that, and you accuse somebody of being an abuser, like, I think people should step in and separate and then investigate.
Right.
I don't think we should just assume... that person, and I wouldn't have assumed that of Amber Heard if Johnny Depp made the allegations. But, like, he wasn't allowed to talk about it because of legal proceedings for 2 years.
Yeah.
He had, like...
He had so much proof that
Yes.
she abused
Audio
him.
proof, fucking video proof. Like,
Yep.
it was, like...
She took a shit on his bed. What the fuck is that about?
Yeah, that's fucking insane. Meanwhile, she's an Aquaman.
And again,
and
mental health clearly is an issue for both of them.
And it's... I'm not saying Johnny Depp's completely well, but, like, he wasn't burning her with cigarettes.
No, he wasn't trying to cut off her fingers. Like,
right, it's fucked. Like,
yeah.
no one should be believed
100%.
without any proof.
Right.
I think, that is basically what it comes down to. I don't think cancel culture is a thing in that there's one solid movement.
No.
I think it's everyone's loud opinions on the internet, and I think all of us kind of fall into, like, I think all of us agree it's like, Weinstein? That motherfucker had to go. Cosby? Nah. Like,
right.
And then it starts to, like, it's like, well, is there proof? Like,
I think that in their hearts, like, people think they're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Because they're standing up to the problem. But the problem is, first of all, something that everyone needs to keep in mind, and it's very easy to forget, is most of the people doing this are kids. Most of the people on Twitter are children canceling people. And, yeah, they don't have the same... Not to be ageist, I'm not trying to be... But, like, they don't have the same breadth of understanding as far as time passing.
It's black and white.
Because it hasn't passed for them yet.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's black and white. And they want to stand up for what they believe in, and that's to be commended. It's just the ways that they have to go about doing that now include this massive, pungulous, gross thing that can be done.
I don't see a difference between the verbiage used for getting a person canceled and getting the Snyder Cut reinstated. I don't see a difference. Like, it is just as vitriolic and just as destructive, and it's like, okay, so you want this person canceled, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna fucking bomb everything they're ever in and fucking harass the studios and advertisers? Okay, you want the Snyder Cut, so you're gonna fucking review bomb any movie that comes out from Warner Brothers that isn't the thing you want. You're gonna fucking harass studio executives. You're gonna... It's the same thing. It's, I want what I want, fuck you. And it's very... That's the destructive side of it, where it's like, this doesn't help your case so much as hurt someone else's down the line for something else. And that's... Yeah.
Yeah. And again, it can get super vitriolic. The source of it barely... It's usually, I heard that this person did this thing, and because of that I hate them now, and I don't care about... Or not that I don't care, but I believe what I've heard 100%. Which is why a lot of the times when someone tells me that someone is racist or pedophilic or whatever, it's like, well, what did they do? What did they say?
Yeah.
Tell me. Because context actually does matter, even if we want to pretend it doesn't. Like...
Would you like to do emails?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have two.
We do. Paper, scissors, rock to see who reads the first one.
Okay. The one that's titled, "This email is very long, sorry."
Yes. By the way, I say paper, scissors, rock. I recently found out that
that's completely wrong.
My life is a lie.
Yep.
I said something about it on Facebook, and thank you for everyone I've ever known. Appreciate that. Everyone I've ever met, and some people I never have, telling me no. So thank you. Appreciate that.
You went in so confident, too. You were like,
so
my
confident.
wife is wrong about how you say rock, paper, scissors.
I was big dick swinging. I came in as like, all right.
You would have been so much better if you had just been, which do you think is correct? Because at least then there's some plausible deniability.
No, I came in positive that there was some sort of division, and America said no.
All right.
So, okay.
Paper, scissors, rock, scissors, paper.
Shut up.
Damn it.
Yes!
Okay.
I never win.
Jason got handed so quick. Good morning, Theria. This is from Chick-fil-A Deathfies/John.
Hi, John.
So, in the last GMT, you guys talked about public school stories, and while I went, unfortunately, to a private Catholic school until high school, I still have some stories from my short amount of time there, as well as a couple from my older siblings, too.
Sorry, I was looking at the chat. Fucking Zach, yeah, no, I got fucking... That wasn't even 3 replies in. I'm like, oh no, what have I done? I've made a terrible mistake.
30 replies later. It was bad.
And Hogness, you're right, it wasn't just America.
No. I think Japan has something else. Mandy,
They
let
have
you know.
paper, scissors, stone, and that's the closest one.
No, that was the Japanese one.
That was the Vietnamese or Korea. That wasn't Japan.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I have plenty of stories from Catholic school, but most of them aren't that interesting, and all essentially boil down to the school's kind of cultish. What? Anyway, story number 1. This comes from my older brother. So on his first ever day at public school, he forgot his lunchbox, so he had to go back to his physical science teacher's room to get it. As he walked in, he found the teacher just lighting a table on fire. It was a science classroom, so the tables were all those black chemical-resistant tables that don't spread fire or burn down the school. But it's still an interesting thing to happen. That happened at my school, too.
Was it like a test to show, like, it's like, oh, this would be a neat thing to show the class?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't get that teacher. I was really upset about it, but my sister did.
Right.
And so when I went to that teacher later, and I was like, do you really set the desk on fire? He got really close to me and was like, your sister is a dirty liar. But it was hilarious. It was funny. It sounds bad.
Yeah, no.
But, like, he was very funny. Story number 2. This comes from my older sister. So the high school that I go to got completely rebuilt and remodeled her last couple of years going there. The old building was pretty worn down and gross to the point where there were just holes in the ceiling in some spots, which apparently turned out to be a good door for some animals. On one of her last days of school in senior year, the high school was evacuated because an entire family of raccoons fell out of the ceiling!
I call the big one Bitey.
I love that story. That's my favorite.
Yeah, shit.
The closest I have to that is there was a dead pigeon caught in the netting of our...
That's not the same.
No, it's not the same.
Different vibe.
Yeah, it was there for like a week. I think they had to figure out how to get it down.
Aww.
All right, story number 3. This one comes from me and fairly recently. Oh, wait, I have another high school animal story later. This year, I'm taking a civil engineering course, so we have a workshop area outside of the classroom with equipment and tables for projects and such. I don't know how this happened, but my class had only 5 people in it. The minimum requirement before they shut the class down is 13 people. So this is kind of weird, but it probably has something to do with the class being a requirement to get an engineering cord at graduation. The 5 people in the class, including me, have all been in engineering classes together for the past 3 years, so we know each other fairly well, and our teaching is pretty relaxed and doesn't mind if our teacher is pretty relaxed and doesn't mind if we mess around as long as we get our work done. Since there are only 5 of us, the most recent group projects are all done in one group together, which usually ends with a lot of chaos. We were supposed to be recreating a model of a type of architecture using cardboard, and so we had all the normal project tools, box cutters, rulers, pencils, but most importantly, hot glue. So halfway through the 3rd day of the project, we all finished and are making the most ridiculous drive-through menu for the Arby's that someone made, including things like this franchise and NASCAR, when one of my classmates got bored and used the entire stick of hot glue to make a giant ring around a quarter he had. This gave another classmate an idea, so after digging the quarter out of the ring of hot glue, we hot glued the quarter to the concrete floor. The best part is there's just enough hot glue used on that quarter to permanently stick it there, so no hot glue is visible. Sorry about the length of this email. I hope you both are having a wonderful day. Thanks a ton, John. My other animal story.
Yeah, I hope it's cheerier.
It is.
Okay.
It's actually very cute. So we had a Boston Terrier named Roxy, and we lived near the school, but pretty far away from the school. And one day, I was hearing rumors that there was a dog on campus, that there was just a dog hanging out with everyone during lunch. And then I take my lunch, and it's Roxy! And I brought her home. Wait, no, did I bring her home? I think Jamie brought her home.
Oh.
Someone brought her home. She got home. I just don't recall. I was in freshman year.
Right.
So maybe my grandmother came to pick her up. I don't know. The point is, it was Roxy! Isn't that cute? Anyway, here you go. Like, I heard all morning about this dog.
Hi, girl. Oh, she's asleep under the desk.
She's sleeping now.
She just wanted to make sure she was in the room. She's had a bit of separation anxiety ever since Elle started getting called in for jobs in, like, San Francisco and having to go overnights and stuff. She's afraid that we're going to slip out the back door or something. Hey, DNR folks, it's me, the different Alex. I've gladly accepted the title. I'd like to address my previous email. I just heard the GMT about the players who run Yenward, about the player who was running Yenward, and now I feel a bit of a jackass by ending my last email with the Hail King Yenward. Look, okay, hold on. Let's talk about that. It's fine. Everything's fine. Like, we've talked to Tom since then, and this is a prime example of people change and grow. And, you know, it's... Jesus.
And once you know some of them in real life, it's easier to believe, because Tom's a completely different dude.
Yeah, like, he's
still funny, though.
Yeah. I'll stick with Touch Your Faces. I get a kick out of that since it seems that Jason and Brie's sexy voice might be done. I don't have a sexy voice. It's just deeper versions of this.
Feel my sexy voice.
Oh, that's hot.
Touch your faces.
That's weird. Don't. Now it's getting into baby talk. Stop it.
Big brother. Remember Corpse Party? That was fun.
I remember streaming to 8 people, maybe. Anyway, to the meaty bit of the email. The day after I sent the email to you guys about my problem player not being a good fit and potentially holding player and source content hostage, my wife called him out on his metagaming bullshit.
Nice.
It's always nice when someone else dives on that grenade. It's like, I've had it. It's like, oh, this is a problem for you too? Fantastic.
Thank God, yeah.
Like looking up monster stats and putting my encounters into difficulty calculators and announcing those things in-game over our video chat. Motherfucker, I'd kneecap somebody hardcore.
Oh, shit.
I would, you know what I'd do? I'd change shit on the fly and then just say, hey, I mean, you shouldn't know this, 1. 2, not every monster's built the same. 3, this is why I use random health and fucking stuff like that. When you, like, just take those things away from people. He then messaged the whole group that he was straight not having a good time. He then contacted me that he had made up his mind to drop out and leave the content that he was sharing with us. He stated that he just wasn't having fun and didn't feel like his playstyle didn't fit with what the rest of the players were going for, or what I was trying to cultivate in the campaign. We remain on good terms and still talk about non-D&D related stuff, so him coming forward and realizing that his style didn't fit and owning it not only helped avoid an awkward conversation, but saved a friendship. So yay, fixed it? Anyway, this became a bit long, so I'll wrap it up for you guys. But I'm going to add a picture of my dog going nuts and rolling around on his back for you all to enjoy. Keep it classy, lassies, and touch your faces. Thank you, Alex.
Oh, I'm enjoying it.
Oh, man. That is
He's enjoying it.
Man, that is a dog having fun. That...
Oh, he's wearing a little hat.
Ah, he's got like a coonskin cap there. Looking... Ah, I love it.
So majestic.
It's, business in the front, party in the back.
Right.
Our dog went crazy on stream earlier, so it's fine. And then she's completely exhausted.
Yep.
I think that'll do it for GMT this week.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. I like that we had a fun topic and a heavy topic.
Yeah, I honestly, it's nice to catch up with you guys and hang out for a bit. And I guess we'll be back in 2 weeks for Call It. What do you want to talk about?
Fuck. I don't know.
Healthcare for all. Okay, we're gonna do that. No.
Well, I mean, we just agree.
No,
we just be like, yeah, me too. All right.
Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys next time for a brand new GMT. Do me a favor, if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, there is a link to D&D Beyond that's been scrolling through. There it is right now. Click that. Click it and check it out. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. Look around. There's some really good articles on there.
Yep. Every book right now is 10% off, and we're trying to get in good with D&D Beyond because...
for reasons.
For reasons. We'll get into it later. But... thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you guys hanging out. And
sorry, Raziel, who just showed up and said, "Glad I got you guys." Oof.
I'm so sorry. We're
gonna post this. It's fine.
You walked into the fast food joint 5 minutes before. They are good folks, honestly.
Good folks.
We've talked to Melly a bunch there, but like, yeah, it's we'll get into it. there might be bigger news coming this year.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time. And yeah, have a good weekend, everybody.
Yeah. Bye.